All right, so again, my name is William Glenn Nicholson Jr. I go by Glenn. I'm here to give Plainfield High School a presentation and PowerPoint presentation on mindful illumination. That is the title. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be here today. I wanted to share a few things about myself so you know where I'm coming from, what my background has been. As Dr. Hart, or Mr. Hart, soon to be doctor.
I kind of like doctor, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not a doctor.
He shared, I went to Plainfield High School and graduated back in '86. '86? You guys weren't even here.
Nope.
You were nowhere to be found. You weren't born yet. So that makes me old. So I graduated. I also went to college. I went to Thames Valley. I went to Eastern. I became an engineer. I became a math teacher. I taught middle school, high school mathematics. I became a massage therapist for about 7 years, worked on thousands of bodies, so I know a little bit about massage therapy and acupressure points, so if you give me a hard time, I know where to push. I also, as Mr. Hart shared, there's this book which I authored myself, Best Foot Forward, and then the book that's going around is Best Foot Forward, which I co-authored with Ray LaCara, who also graduated at Plainfield High School. And again, that book is a gem. I highly recommend you get it. Yes, it is available at Amazon if you want to check it out at Amazon. I did not come here today to sell a book though. I'm only here to help and serve, and that book could hopefully serve you well. I've also been a volunteer for a number of years to help out at a food pantry. I've worked for 10 years with adults with disabilities. Absolutely love the job. I love the people I work with. They're a beautiful community. Also, I advocate for youth, adults with disabilities, mental health, highly sensitive people, which we'll talk a little more about. I'm a highly sensitive person. I have my challenges with lighting, bright lights, a lot of noise. If there's a large crowd at a restaurant, I can't take that energy, so I can't go in there. So the highly sensitive part, just so you know, 20% of the population is highly sensitive. 20%, 1 out of 5 people. So a couple people in here are highly sensitive, so might be able to relate to what I'm talking about. And we tend to get overwhelmed easily, and sometimes our nights are just resting and re-energizing for the next day. We're no good to nobody. That's how it is for me anyway. So right now we're going to talk about the brain and thoughts. We're going to talk about the power of reframing. I just learned this a couple of years ago about reframing to help me deal with anxiety. Very powerful tool. So I'm going to share that with you, a couple examples so you can relate to what I'm talking about. So again, we're going to talk about anxiety and depression. We're going to talk a little bit about mindfulness. When we come back from break, part 2, we're going to get into meditation, the benefits of meditation, and also happiness and gratitude. We're going to hit it on and if you have questions, like I said, at the very end, please ask them, and I'll try to give you my honest feedback. And if I can't do it, Mr. Hart will. So, getting to the PowerPoint, we're going to first talk about the brain. All of us have brains, and all of us are different, just like our fingerprint. Yes, fingerprint, just like our fingerprint. Our brains are all different. How they work is different. They're constantly learning. They have that neuroplasticity in our favor. So every day we can become a new student and learn something new and use it and learn from it. So the brain, it's a miraculous mystery. They're still doing incredible research on the brain with these scans to figure out what exactly we're capable of. And it's powerful beyond measure. It's just absolutely amazing to me. And your abilities, you're young, you're healthy, you have unbelievable potential. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So the neuroplasticity, constantly, your left and right hemispheres you're having these wires that are connecting neural pathways that are generating in your brain every day. You should be trying to absorb as much information as you can and learn. Suck the marrow out of high school, because when you get to college, you're going to be paying for it. And that much more prepared you are in high school, the easier it's going to be when you go to college. And from my research, if you are able to do well in high school, you're probably going to be able to kick it in college. So, then we got the master versus slave. So you have a choice. You can either be a master to your brain and be like, oh my God, I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm such a loser. I got a D on my test. I thought I prepared well for it. I'm never going to amount to anything in life. I'm not even going to think about college. Forget that if I got a D on a test. So you can be a master to that. I'm going to take that back. You can be a slave to that. So you can be a slave to that negativity, all the belittling, doubt, fear, all that stuff. Or you can be a master, meaning, all right, I'm going to use positive thinking. It was only one test. I didn't prepare the way I should have. I could have done much better. I made a mistake. I waited till the last minute to prepare for this test. If I would have had 1 or 2 more days, I could have aced that thing. I should have paid attention when I had quizzes and I made mistakes. I should have learned from those mistakes so that I could have aced this test. So that's starting to master your brain. So it's a choice, master or you're going to become a slave. Sorry I mixed that up at the beginning. So fallible mind and thoughts. Your thoughts, oh my God. Our thinking is a joke, okay? The majority of our thinking is just rubbish. Like 80% of your thoughts, we're going to go over this in a second on the power slide, 80% of your thoughts are fluff. They don't have any relevance. They're not important. They don't have any value. You got 20% that's on your side. And you can start to turn that around. We'll talk about that shortly. So you have these limiting beliefs and you have these negative vibrations, negative energy that goes on. And it's up to you. Again, are you going to be a master or are you going to be a slave? Are you going to say, oh, poor me, victim role as a slave? Or are you going to be the master, say, I got control here. I'm not letting the crap thoughts take over my mind. I'm going to get hyper-focused and I'm going to succeed at whatever I put my mind to. Finally, so again, this is your power of choice. You take over. So, psychology. It sounds like a class. Is that a class? Psychology?
It is a class. We're in it right
this
now.
is a class?
Yes,
Psychology.
it is.
All right, here we are. The science of the mind or mental states. So we just talked, I gave you some examples of some of the mental states that you can possibly go through, which are totally normal. Your attitudes, your beliefs, your words, your actions change your psychology and physiology. Do you believe that? Does that make sense? Do you believe that? That your attitudes, your beliefs, your words, and your actions change your psychology and physiology. Of course. So you can write your own script. You say, I'm not doing this anymore. This old crap thinking, I'm getting done with it quick. I'm going to let it ride, and I'm going to be the mastermind of my own life. And you can do this. Highly successful people, that's what they do. That's where they separate themselves. Okay? So the mind, you have a conscious mind, and you have a subconscious mind, which is, you got about maybe 10 to 20% of your mind is conscious, and about 80% or so is subconscious. So there's a lot of times you don't even know what's going on. It's like, why did I think that? That was stupid. Well, your subconscious mind is down there doing its thing. Not usually in a supportive cast. So the state of your life is nothing more than a reflection of the state of your mind. Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer, if you ever read, he's written over 30 books. You want a good author to read about what we're talking about, get a hold of Wayne Dyer. Put it down. I had the pleasure of meeting him in 1997 at a book fair, and it was great to be able to connect with him. He passed away probably about 5 years ago, I would say, sadly. So anyway, miss him. Great material, though.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff on YouTube from him too.
Yeah, YouTube. You can go to
Yeah,
YouTube. Check out Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
Amazing. So as we were talking about thoughts, 60,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
No wonder we're tired. Holy mackerel. What'd you do today, hon? Oh, I thought about 60,000 thoughts today. I'm kind of tired. 80% negative. What's that all about? Who decided that? That's just like ridiculous, but that's what we do. That's what we do. And if you talk to your parents, they'll probably tell you something similar and say, yeah, this thinking thing, it's not all good. It's not all good. So you gotta be the master, right? You gotta be the master, not the slave. Now real quick too, it says, I can't, impossible. Oh no. Hey, Mr. Smith, how are we?
This is
We're
Glenn.
not too loud, are we?
No, you're fine.
We're not too loud for you, are we?
Glenn and I, yeah.
You guys know each other? Okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the
Glenn
day.
played point guard, I played center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we moving on or?
We're going on.
All right.
So here we go. Thoughts. Here's the thinker. Okay. Thoughts are forever seeking our attention. Hey! I got an idea. Let's go. Drinking after school. Probably not a smart thing. How's that going to help you? Get rid of anxiety? Well, we're going to talk about that. How you can do it without alcohol, drugs. See clearly that the thinker is not who you are. I am not the thinker. You do it all the time. You hear the thoughts. How can you not be the thinker? 60,000 of these things a day. How can I not be the thinker? You're not the thinker. Shift from thinking to awareness and presence. What you are, you're not the thinker. What you are is you are awareness. Pure awareness. Each and every one of you. We're going to do a meditation in a little while when we come back. And we're going to try to tap into that awareness. You're going to hopefully have that aha moment, like, hey, this is kind of a nice space to be right here. And you've all experienced awareness from time to time, but your thoughts get in the way. So more thoughts. If it don't apply, let it fly. My dad used to tell me this all the time. Like, Dad, da, da, da. He'd say, son, if it don't apply, let it fly. I'm like, well, that makes sense. Because you gotta let those 80% of negativity fly, man. Because if you hold on to that, how are you gonna be successful in life? You're not gonna have any friends, and you'll be like, God, he's such a bummer. She's such a bummer to hang around with. All she does is talk about all this negativity, what's going on in the world, and the world's a disaster, and life is no fun, and all those kind of self-defeating and doubt and full catastrophe thinking, you know? Yeah, is it possible we could have World War III? Sure. It could happen, but you know what? It's out of my control, it's out of your control. I think the best thing you can do is try to be the master and do what you can do, you know, versus worrying hardcore about something that potentially is not going to happen. All right, who is this guy? Albert, Dr. Einstein. Is he a doctor?
I think so.
Dr. Einstein. Here we go. I was referring to this earlier. Unbound, and where are we time-wise? 11 o'clock?
11
We still
o'clock,
got
yeah.
10 minutes.
Yep.
All right, we're doing good. So unbound and limitless. Creativity, imagination, potential. Every single person here, has unlimited ability and creativity. I can't imagine the things you can create. Look, I created this. And when I was in high school and you said, Glenn, you're gonna write a book. I'm a math guy, I'm not a writer, okay? I get into that, yeah, I'm gonna write a book, right, what are you smoking, right? So, sure enough, I found it important enough I saw a need, I wanted to be of service and help students who were struggling. So I wrote the book. And I helped some students along the way, which is awesome. You know, and they maybe graduated college with high honors because they decided to read some of these little tips on how to be a successful student. my intent is not to sell you a book. My intent is to show you you can be creative beyond measure if you allow yourself to be. Your creativity, they find, is a right brain thing, your right hemisphere. That's where the majority of your creativity comes from. I can only imagine if we got together, we talked about something creative, what we could come up with together. Oh my God, it's amazing. Where did the book go? Oh, it's over there. So, for instance, talk about evolution. So we basically went from my idea of a book, Best Foot Forward, this is all me, to collaborating with an English teacher who's written books, who can make it thicker and have more helpful skills in here than I can do by myself. So imagine what you can do together, you know? Unbelievable when you can brainstorm together and come up with new concepts. All right, we're good?
Yep, I went to the next slide.
Okay, so you got your thinkers, okay? You got your negative and you got your positive. 80% negative, right? How many people, show of hands, are surprised 80%? It's that high of
Seems
negativity,
high.
negative thoughts.
Seems high to me.
Yeah? Okay. So now you can do something about it because you're aware of it. Before, you probably weren't even aware how bad it was until we're bringing it to the light. So we got negative and we got positive. The negative thinkers, when there's opportunities, and now I'm kind of, I do this sometimes, a lot probably. I look at an opportunity and I look at the difficulties in it and be like, oh, I can't do it because, you know, the wheel's gonna fall off, or whatever rationale I come up with. I look for the difficulties, why I can't do it. My brain is trained that way and I'm aware of it. So I don't do that as much anymore. I catch myself. There's also a thing called scarcity mindset, where you're thinking lack. Like, I can't do this because, I can't dunk a basketball because, remember little Spud Webb back in the day? What was he, 5'6"?
Yeah.
5'6", out there winning a dunk competition. Are you kidding me? Come on, seriously? That's crazy. Someone got in his brain, said, hey, you're gonna win a dunk competition. He said, I am? Okay. And he went out and did it. Positive, when you see difficulties, you're able to see opportunities in those difficulties. Say, well, it's difficult, it's challenging, but you know what, if we do A, B, and C, I think this is gonna work out, right? And this is abundance. I'm thinking abundantly, not scarcity. All right, good. So what you think about expands. That's a huge statement. What you think about expands. Your thoughts influence your health and quality of life. You believe that? Absolutely. So what you're telling yourself is going to affect your health, because you can become, everyone in here can become depressed. In like 3 minutes, I can tell you all the right reasons why you should be very depressed right now. And you probably follow along and go, you know what, he's freaking right. Right? And your quality of life, which is, again, one of the reasons why we put this together. We want to help people improve their quality of life by following some skills, some skill sets, some coping skills, some hints, some tips, so that you don't make the same stupid mistakes we did. How cool is that? If you can share with your brothers and sisters, you know, if they decide, you know, they're partying and then they want to go out for a ride and you intervene and say, not a good idea. I've only had one beer, one shot of vodka, you smoked probably a little pot. Probably not a good idea for you to go driving right now. So you're going to save their life and maybe someone else's. But they're not in their right frame of mind to make a decision like that, a choice. So positive affirmations are king. I want everyone to say, I gotta think about this.
Good positive affirmation.
I want everyone to say, I kick butt.
Now?
Say it.
I kick butt.
One more time.
I kick butt.
All right, so keep that recorded so that when you're starting your negativity, and those negative thoughts start kicking around, you're gonna reframe it to I kick butt. All right? Is that cool?
Mhm.
Create your story. That's what we're doing right now. We're creating a story. And momentum. We're trying to build some momentum. Momentum is so big. This is momentum right here. You see this?
Mhm.
5 years ago. This, my friend, is momentum. When the Patriots came back from 25 points down, third quarter, 2 minutes and 12 seconds left, 17 minutes left in the game, and they're going to come back and win the game? Seriously? Come on. Who does that? Not even, I mean, you talk about miraculous. That is beyond my understanding. And that will be etched in stone forever. Ever. It's a legacy. Can't be touched. All right, so filter. We got 5 more minutes. Perfect. This is going to be really perfect. So strategy 1, filter. Relevant or trash? Your thought that comes in, you ask yourself, is this relevant or is this trash? And if it's trash, guess what you're going to do with it?
Get it out.
Throw it out. Not important. Move next one. Now you have this filter. You know what a filter looks like. You have a coffee filter. When you put coffee in the grains, there's a filter there. In the car, you have an oil filter. So you have a filter that's going to weed stuff out. You have an internal filter, okay? You use that. That is yours. And you decide, relevant or trash? 80% of your thoughts are trash. So guess what? You're going to need a lot of trash bags. A lot of trash bags. So reframing. How are you going to see your problem as a difficulty, or are you going to see it as a challenge and an opportunity? Can you see this? The difference between a mindset here? No phones. It's being disrespectful right now. I'm here to talk, to share with you, and you're on your phone. It's not cool. All right? So put your phone away. So problem, you're going to see your problem as a difficulty, or are you going to see it as a challenge and an opportunity? Man, is that a big shift right there? That's a huge shift if you can start doing that for yourself. Unbelievable. Okay? So here we go. Here's a list. I had a list of about 18 of these things, and I had to shrink it down because I didn't want to be here all day talking about this one thing. But reframing. Everyone say reframe.
Reframe.
Nice. You're going to do a lot of reframing, promise me, okay? After our conversation today, you're going to do a lot of this. Listen, I'm still a student of reframing. I still catch myself. Like, oh my God, catastrophe thinking, my tire's going to blow out, I'm going to get in an accident, I'm going to hurt someone, I'm going to have to go to the hospital. I need to do that. And then I go, whoa, time out. Time out. Your tire's fine. Give them a call at the shop. This happened last week.
Yeah, you told me this happened to you in real
Yeah,
life.
give me a call. I'll call them at the shop. Usually they take 2 weeks before they see you. He's like, oh, we'll see you tomorrow. I was like, cool. Got it all taken care of. I stopped it. What do they call that? Stop it in the
Nip in the bud.
nip it in the bud.
Yep.
Nip it in the bud. It's like, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing this. No. So, react. You reframe from react as respond. So instead of reacting to it all, oh my God, I'm going to respond. Take a breath. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We got this. We got this. And it all worked out. It was like miraculously. So you're going to reframe a mistake as a learning opportunity. So when you get your quiz back and you make mistakes, look at those mistakes and look at them as a learning opportunity so that when the exam comes, you got this, right? Weakness as resilience. So, I'm never going to amount to anything, blah, 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 blah. Resilient. I got this. Slow down. Whoa, Nelly. Ignorance as awareness. I had no idea that was going to happen. Versus, I saw that coming a mile away. Wounded as healing. Oh, he called me a jerk. That really hurt. Oh my God. What am I going to do now? I don't even know if we should be friends anymore. Versus healing. What was his intention for calling me that? What's wrong with him? Something must be bugging him. Come to find out, his parents had an argument and he's really distraught. Oh, there it is. Now I'm gonna take, here's another thing, don't take anything personally. Don't take anything personally. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book called The Four Agreements. One of those agreements is do not take anything personally. It's more about the other person than it is about you, okay? Finally, so here we are, rewire the brain. Rewrite your untold story by reframing your situation. So reframe your situation.
Okay.
We'll go next.
I think it's time to go to lunch
quick.
now. It's
I
gonna be.
want to see the next one.
Okay, next slide will be.
So real quick, clarity, intention, purpose. That's what we're talking about, okay? So when you change the way you see things, the things you see change. Wayne Dyer, pretty powerful. We've been changing a lot of things here, you agree? The way we see things. One more time. Oh, yeah, all right.
Hold that. It's
We're gonna-
lunchtime now
Yeah,
anyway.
we'll hold
So.
that.
Okay, guys. We'll see you back in half an hour.